Wisdom. It's an incredibly valuable asset. Some would say more precious than gold. It's attractive, appealing, admirable. Conversely, a lack of wisdom is the basis of immaturity, blind spots, and bad decisions. Wisdom. It can be gained over time, but it can't be rushed. But wisdom can be shared. That's precisely what we are here to do right now. Today, we are here to hack wisdom, to distill it, to understand it, and to process it. Why? To get better at life. Welcome to The Main Thing. This is your new Wisdom Podcast. I'm your host, Skip Linneberg, and I've set out to interview the wisest people I know. We'll see what we can learn from each one when they're faced with an incredibly difficult, soul-piercing question. Welcome, everyone. I'm Skip Linneberg, coming to you again from Parkwood Studios in Charleston, West Virginia. Whether you're a returning listener or joining us for the very first time, I'm so grateful you're here. Before we dive in, let me ask one quick favor. Tap that subscribe button wherever you're listening. It helps our show rise above the noise and the algorithms so that more wisdom seekers just like you can discover these wisdom conversations. Now, in your world, who are those special people who naturally bring people together, who listen deeply, and who make you feel understood? Kathleen Walker, our wise guest today, is one of those rare individuals. She's what Malcolm Gladwell would call a connector, someone who spots potential where others see separation, someone who communicates with insight and empathy. Her professional path has taken her through telecommunications, transportation, healthcare, law, and personal services. But her true calling emerged when she co-founded Epiphany Consulting, where she helps individuals, businesses, and teams strengthen communication, management, and leadership through self-awareness and clarity. Kathleen is a South Charleston native, a wife, and a devoted mom of 2 daughters, and someone who wakes up every single day with a desire to make people's lives meaningfully better. Kathleen Walker, good morning and welcome to the Main Thing Podcast.
Good morning, Skip.
Thanks for making a little time to share some wisdom with us today.
No, I appreciate the ask.
So, Kathleen, I want to start with a frustration.
Okay.
Hiring people. At my church, at a community board that I'm on, at work, everyone's trying to hire and everyone's frustrated. Can't find good people. Part of what you do in your work is helping companies make good hires, make better hires. I want to go back to 2004. I was running a company. It was an early stage startup with a couple partners, and we had just made 2 horrible hires. People that looked good, they interviewed well, they had experience in our industry, they had relevant job experience, interviews went well, and both were just disasters. And so we came hat in hand crawling to you and Epiphany Consulting, your company, for help.
The main thing when you bring someone on is, onboarding is really the integral part of any new hire integration into an organization. So if you have some reliable data that you can sit down and have a great conversation, and you can be vulnerable enough as that hiring manager to say, I want you to look at mine too. Let's look and see where we have some similarities and differences. And it's what I said earlier was it's like that new relationship that you have a 3 to 6 month window to really see that person. Well, this takes the bandwidth down to from day one. You can understand, where do I need to show support? Where are they going to be great? Because some managers forget to highlight the great things people are doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they have a tendency to focus on what they're not doing well.
Yes.
So if you have a tool that opens up those abilities to have open conversations about how it's affecting performance at work, then there you are, because you've got the data, and it gives you a path of how to open up those conversations and to be consistent about them.
You're on an elevator You're going up one floor with someone. How do you explain to someone what you do in like 10 seconds?
My little quick version is anytime 2 or 3 are gathered, there's opportunities to help people.
Oh, I love that.
We're all about people.
Yeah.
And we as people are just amazing human beings. And giving people the opportunity to see people, to see them for what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Make good decisions to set people up to succeed. It's just, I love what I do. I mean, anywhere there's people, we want to help people become empowered. You know, I'm watching my children navigate work world. They want to know, what's my mobility? What opportunities do I have to grow and learn new things, you know?
Right.
You know, everybody wants to give them a hard, I guess, a hard way to go, because everybody's like, oh, the holidays, they just want to work from home. You know, they don't want to do anything else. You know, it's all about this. I crave that generation. They teach me so much.
Yeah.
You know, they teach me to not be afraid of all the new technology coming down the pike. You know, life is about relationships. Yeah. And anything that we at Epiphany can do to help people be seen and valued and help them be, you know, just an integral part of an organization. But see that on both sides, to where we empower a manager to empower an employee.
There you go. Yeah. That's your impact. If we were to go back to your 21-year-old self, what were you going to do in your career?
Law school.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to get paid to argue and talk because I love it. I was going to go to UK, work on a horse farm, and go to law school.
Wow.
Boy, things change.
That sounds lovely.
It was a great thought.
Yeah.
Didn't really.
I can see the movie. And there's a romance in there somewhere, like maybe at the feed store, you run into the cute guy.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I met him a long time ago. Might be why I took a different path. So the work I've done for all these years in Epiphany's realm, you know, you would think I would be an expert on how I display my style, but you know, you get caught up because you're in a comfort zone. Mm-hmm. As much as I try to be mindful and, you know, acutely aware of the impact I have on other people, because that's really the crux of it, you know? Because
I'm sitting here laughing so much. Laughter of recognition.
It's true, because, you know, it's like...
And tears are coming out of my eyes because it's so true.
Because, you know, we don't ever ask people to change.
Right.
You know, you don't take an assessment because there's a right answer or a wrong answer. You take an assessment to get a glimpse of how you're navigating.
Yeah.
And so if you just are mindful that it's not the style that you have, it's the impact that you bring.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right on.
And if we have different styles,
said.
Be mindful of that. Mm-hmm. And I'll have to say, I really do think as a parent, what I did, 45, I had my kids pretty, what people call young now. I had both of them before I was 30. And so we were in the midst of the teenage years when I got involved with this work with assessment products. But I was like, wow, what a gift, because I really saw my kids in a different light.
Yeah.
And I realized the impact I was having on both of them the way I chose to communicate.
Let's help the listeners out a little bit and pull back the curtain. How do we know each other? How are we connected?
Did we really tell that story? It's so prevalent in my mind. So I had a job in Charleston on Lee Street in the Huntington Bank building. Probably 97, 98, yeah. I had a great job. But I'm a people person, right? So what did I do every morning? I went to the bagel shop. I went to Chesapeake Bagel every morning. Yes. They knew my order, which was beautiful. I knew all the people. I had the pleasure of knowing the Sherman girls prior to them opening that, extravaganza. And one day I'm in there getting my bagel.
This is my wife.
Yes.
One of the co-founders.
And she does her usual, happy, hey, Kathleen, how are you this morning?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Lisa, what's up? She goes, see that guy over there? I'm like, over there at the table? She goes, yeah. She goes, that's my new boyfriend. I said, well, really? What's his name? She said, Skip. So you know me, old shy me, I get my bagel and go right over, and you're trying to be in your nice little bubble.
Right.
I'm like, well, good morning, Skip.
You sat right down with me.
I'm Kathleen. How are you? It's so funny when I think about it now. But that's been a long time ago.
We go back more than 25 years.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It is wild.
192 extra minutes of wisdom. That's what you get when you become a patron of the Main Thing podcast. Many of you continue to say, we want to hear more from these wise guests. That's precisely what patrons of our podcast get. Exclusive access to bonus episodes called The Whole Thing. These 30-minute special shows bring you a deeper dive into our guests' wisdom. Less editing, more laughter. Less time limits, more stories. Unlock those 192 extra minutes of wisdom for yourself for as little as $9 per month through the Patreon platform. And when you become a patron, you also get access to wisdom essays, behind-the-scenes glimpses, and access to special patron-only wisdom gatherings. Head over to patreon.com/themainthingpodcast. Go unlock your 192 extra minutes of wisdom. Kathleen Walker, what's the main thing you've learned in your lifetime so far?
Skip, the main thing I've learned in my lifetime so far is to lead with love.
Lead with love. You know that's important to me. Talk us through why that's your main thing, and if you can go back to when that was imparted to you. How did that become fundamental wisdom that guides your life?
My dear dad. My dad was an amazing, amazing person. I lost him when he was very young.
Oh. How old were you when he passed?
I was 45.
Okay. That's that
turning point that I just mentioned to you.
Yeah.
And, he always shared with me that love was the most profound emotion that we were gifted with and how we all deserve it. Mm-hmm. And that we really needed to be conscious of that when we're interacting with each other because things are seldom like they seem.
Yeah.
I mean, seldom like they seem.
Yeah.
So if you approach everything you do out of love, it usually gives you a totally different perspective because our minds will tell us many stories.
Sure. I'm keenly aware of that.
And make assumptions and all of those things. And it's just really been profound to me to try to lead with love no matter what it is I'm doing, whether it's my work with Epiphany, whether it's my work with the city. Love is a word that we either use too often or that we don't use enough, in my opinion.
Ooh, yeah.
You know how people say, oh, you say you love everything. Well, sometimes people are capable of loving everything. But if you lead with love and you look at people with love, you can avoid all of those pitfalls that we have as far as making judgments, pigeonholing people. In my age group, my favorite thing is, what's the Paul Harvey? What's the rest of their story? And if you don't lead with love and an open mind and an open heart and open ears, you'll never know it. You'll tell it to yourself. Yeah. But you might not know their story.
This person that I work with, they're slacking. I don't know what's wrong with them, but boy, they're not getting it done anymore. And I don't know what's going on with their life. Maybe they've just lost a parent. Maybe their family's fallen apart. Maybe their marriage is in crisis.
Yeah.
Maybe they're fighting a health battle of their own that they haven't chosen to share with us yet. And if I have love, I'm going to approach and deal with that person differently than if I don't.
You're going to treat them like a human.
Yes.
Because, we all crave a few, to me, innate things. We want to be seen. We want to be valued. And we want to be heard. But just like we spoke earlier, our styles dictate the different ways we appreciate that and the ways that we do that. Yeah. But if your love is always where you go first, the good old golden rule, how would I want to be treated? Right. Especially if you're in a struggle. Yeah. I try to tell my groups, whether they be small or large groups of people that I work with, take a minute and look around the room. Somebody in this room is going through something. We're either stepping into a whirlwind or we're in the thick of it, whirling around, or we just got tossed out the other side and we're trying to get back up on our feet again. So be conscious of that.
I want to go back to your father. Tell us a little bit more about how he imparted this wisdom to you.
My dad and I always had really interesting conversations about religion. I've been to several different denominational churches in town. But we'd always get down to the nitty gritty of, what do you believe religion is?
Mm-hmm.
What do you believe God is? And without a doubt, he always looked me right in the eyes and said, my nickname is Sissy. He would say, Sissy, it's just love.
Mm.
God is love.
Mm-hmm.
You've been given the ability to love, so you've got to love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so profound to me. He was just like, you got to love people, especially when they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
You got to love people when they're on top of the world.
Right.
But, we're here with this gift, and I think it's so profound because you can really waver on that teeter-totter of being in fear or in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I choose love because if you're in that, you really can't be fearful.
Right on.
You can think of things that are so great, just getting up in the morning and, being thankful for all that you have.
Yeah, that's a powerful mindset to live in.
And he just constantly reminded me of that. To me, he was his capacity to love, and he showed that through example because, growing up, there were plenty of people at our dinner table. I had no clue who they were. He would bring them home and, make sure we fed them and took care of them.
Wow.
And showed me that that's really what we were here on this planet to do.
Wow.
Was to love and take care of each other. He always blew my mind because I think I wrote a poem when I was in 6th grade about him, about how he was the best need meter I'd ever met.
Yeah.
Because he always instilled that, there's plenty of people out here we can help.
Yeah.
And I think that does come from a place of love.
For sure. Kathleen, do you have a recent personal example where you had to apply your main thing, lead with love, to approach a situation, to overcome a challenge? You had to go, okay, Kathleen, it's time to practice what you preach because here we are. It's time to lead with love.
I think I have one every day. I think there's things going on, in the world we're living in that, choosing love can be hard some days. But I know it's the most important, and when I start to how do you best phrase it? Slip up, catch myself going to the negative, because it's easy to do.
It is.
You know how negativity spreads like wildfire, and just taking a minute, that pause button, because my style is I'm very driven, but I'm a very big influencer, so I'll drive you with a whip, but you're going to have a lot of fun with me while I'm doing it. And, realizing that pause is hard because of the way I'm wired.
Okay.
So I think the main thing that helps me is just to hit that pause button when I catch myself outside that realm of being more loving.
Yeah.
And just taking a minute and taking a breath.
Yeah. That's good.
I probably have a lot of examples to that. Lots of relationships can test whether you can lead with love. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, in the work world, and you talk about leading with love, sometimes you get a lot of pushback.
For sure.
Because they're like, what? What do you mean I got to love all these people?
Yeah, that's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Generational differences.
Absolutely.
Unconventional.
Because
depending on the culture, could be very unconventional.
I get entertained when it's like, just come do your job. I hired you to do this job. Just come do the job.
Yeah.
Well, we're human beings.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started in the work world, it was kind of an understood rule, right? Leave everything that's going on in your purse under your desk, girl, because you're here to do a job.
Yeah.
And wow, that's not a human.
Generations.
Yeah. But you know what it boils down to for me?
Tell me.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Life is just a series of relationships.
Yeah.
And I want mine to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be good.
Yeah. Seasons of life and friendships. There's stages of our lives where we have dozens of friends, maybe hundreds.
Yeah.
And then there's more isolated seasons of our lives. It's, maybe when we're having in our child rearing years.
Oh.
And we close down the circle. And we circle the wagons and we focus just on what really needs our attention and what really matters in that stage. Mm-hmm. Here we are, you and I are both, in late 50s, early 60s, and we're blessed to have a few friends. Mm-hmm. We're blessed if we have 3 or 4 close friends that we can see regularly, that we can confide in. We can share our struggles and our triumphs and not be judged.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's there's a study about longevity. How old are we going to live to be? And the key determinant of their life expectancy from age 50 forward was how many close friends do you have?
I think that goes back to what I'm saying. Relationships are that's what life is all about.
Yeah.
It just really is. And I'm very fortunate. I feel like I do have a good 5.
Kathleen, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation today. And I never know what my guest's main thing is going to be, but I just treasure yours because it is so vital and so compatible with how I try to live and how I try to approach the world with love and kindness. As we wrap up this wisdom conversation, I just want to give you a moment of open mic time to share with our audience. What would you leave them with in the way of a word of encouragement or a parting thought?
Just remember, we're all here to teach each other.
Okay.
Valuable lessons. So don't ever discard someone you meet or not understand that they're in your life for a reason, because you got to remember everything we do matters. Maybe not immediately. It might be even for generations to come.
Yeah.
But that beautiful butterfly effect, it's real. So I hope someday somebody says, you know what? Kathleen Walker loved me. She loved me hard.
And she taught me some things.
Yeah. I mean, I hope.
They weren't apparent at the time.
I hope I do.
But boy, I'm leaning on those now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope I've loved people enough to do something to make them think in a positive manner and to share that with somebody else.
Yeah, that's beautiful and a great place to leave it. Your main thing, lead with love. Again, I treasure that. That's very special, and I can't thank you enough for coming on today, sharing your wisdom with us, and just collaborating on this fun conversation.
It's been my pleasure, Skip.
So long for now. That goes by incredibly fast, doesn't it? Time flies when you're hacking wisdom. Thank you for listening to this wisdom conversation. Let's give a big hearty thank you to the crew of the Main Thing podcast. These are the folks who truly keep the wisdom pipeline flowing. Audio engineer Bob Hotchkiss, strategy advisor Andy Malinowski, public relations and partnerships guru Rachel Bell, social media and digital marketing expert Chloe Linneberg, graphic designer Emma Malinowski, and of course our patrons, those generous folks who provide monthly funding support to help underwrite our costs of production. I couldn't do it without you, nor would I want to. Your feedback matters a lot. If you have a question, a suggestion, maybe an idea, or even a nomination of a future show guest, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at info@themainthingpodcast.com. Well, that's a wrap for this show. I'm your host, Skip Linneberg, signing off for now and inviting you to join us again next time for another special delivery of wisdom. When Kathleen Walker speaks, I listen because her wisdom comes from authenticity, compassion, and her rich lived experience. I wanted to share a brief reflection with you as we get very clear on how we can apply Kathleen's main thing wisdom. You know, she encouraged us to lead with love. And the more I reflect on it, the more I realize this wisdom really lives in two separate and powerful contexts. First, there's the leadership context. You see, Kathleen spends her life working with leaders, business owners, executives, founders, managers, people carrying real responsibility for other human beings. And her message to leaders is quietly radical. Bring love into the way you lead. Not sentimentality, not weakness, but genuine care, humanity, the kind of love that listens better, corrects more gently, and sees people not as resources, but as souls with stories. Then there's the personal context, the one that meets every single one of us, right where we live. Kathleen's main thing becomes a daily challenge for us. Respond first out of love. To lead with it, instead of letting fear make the first move, instead of allowing frustration or control to be our default reflex. And if I'm honest, that's where the real work is for me. How about you? Kathleen reminded us also that everyone we meet is carrying something: grief, pressure, illness, uncertainty. When you lead with love, you approach people differently. You slow down. You listen longer. You judge less quickly. You extend grace more freely. Her father taught her that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice, a posture, a way of seeing the world. And it leaves me with a question I'm still holding today. Where in my life am I being invited to lead with love right now? And again, how about you? Is it at work? In a strained relationship? Or perhaps with a family member? When you lead with love, you don't just change a moment. You change the direction of a life, sometimes even for generations.